What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover as we head through the afternoon. We're going to warm things up right around 60. Chance of seeing showers and some scattered thunderstorms tonight. Temperatures will drop down into the low 50s and rise as we head through the overnight. Showers and thunderstorms could be intense Tuesday, a high right around 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3.
I mean, there's a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name.
KERX Paris Sports Med. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one today.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Houston is producing, and guys, it's good to be with you again today. Happy March. Tournaments will be starting shortly. We know the Razorbacks will be in some sort of tournament. I don't know if it's going to be the NCAA or not. Based on what happened against South Carolina this past Saturday, I don't know if you even want to watch. So, I guess you're allowed to lay an egg every once in a while, and that certainly was an egg. Matt Jones, good morning. How was your weekend?
Happy Fat Tuesday Eve. We are here. Yes. It is Monday, and to be March Madness, you have to be able to shoot from the outside. So really no March Madness in the state of Arkansas this year, but it will. It'll start going around here in a couple of weeks, man. Teams start throwing in. I mean, that performance, Coach Cal saw it firsthand last year in the tournament. That kid from Oakland, man. It's March Madness means the 3 points. It's a barrage.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. You think of the moments and when it comes to the game of basketball in the month of March, it's all about shots that go down, not going 3 out of 24 in a game that you had to have. You know, and look, I remember thinking about this game with South Carolina, Matt. I thought, yeah, it's a don't lose this game. You got to look at it as a must win, but I don't know. It's more, you know what I think this one had to do with? I think that they might have utilized just enough energy to defeat Texas, to turn things around recently. But when you're down you're down 2 players that would be getting 30 to 35 minutes, and you're down to 7 players and throwing in an 8th, hoping that a practice player is going to knock down a shot from the outside. I just think the team was tired. Going on the road, they could not have had their legs, because otherwise you wouldn't have been 3 out of 24 from the field in the first half. That felt like an accomplishment to score just 14 points in the first half. But you know, it's not a loss that nails a coffin in your chances to play in the NCAA tournament. It just puts a little more pressure on you for these last two. You got to beat Vanderbilt. I think you got to beat Mississippi State. You could look at the idea of, okay, so Lunardi still has you in. That means you got to win these next two. One more loss, you're gonna be looked at, I think, as out of the tournament. So I kind of feel they got to win the next two. And then the other aspect of this too, Matt, is this right now? And I know we brought it up last week. I thought maybe it's a team that you wouldn't want to see in the tournament if you're an opponent. Is there enough energy? Are there enough horses? Because if you win a ball game like they did against Texas going so far, overtime to do it, I just don't think there was much energy for the next time out.
Yeah, you had an early turnaround. You had a late game, then you had to fly and change a time zone. They looked like a can of 7-Up that you had left out all night. They started flat, they were flat in the middle, and they finished flat. I mean, you said it best, burn the tape, move on. I don't even know that you can learn anything from it. You got beaten the best grade was Jonas Adu had he had a C-. That was the best grade of everybody that stepped on the court in a Razorback uniform.
Yeah, I felt pretty good that I didn't even get a chance to watch because we were in the air basically for we were boarding the flight for Texas A&M with the start of the ball game, and really couldn't pay attention closely. And the next thing I see when I started to look at the score is that, are you serious? It's 18-3.
When they're asking the announcer,
they played about 12 minutes.
They're like, "Hey, can you put your uniform on and go score?" When they're asking that, that's pretty bad.
Well, we'll kick that around a lot more as we go throughout the show here. It's just I think to myself, how does a performance like that happen in a game where you got to win and you've been playing so well? And it actually does make logical sense to me the more I think about it. It's even if it's outside the idea of the minutes that everybody's playing, we haven't seen enough consistent play from most of the players who have been getting the minutes right now. You think, Adu was pretty consistent until the injury. It's been a while since he had Boogie, so I don't put any of that on that injury. But Z has been, while he's really upped his game in the last month, 5 weeks, there's still been inconsistencies along with that. Adu has been, he just started to kind of turn things around. And just like you're saying, maybe he played the best. You can't expect, you can hope for consistency from freshmen, but that's a difficult thing to pull off. As well as Knox and Richmond have looked at times, they're going to have an off game. And Nelly has been as inconsistent as it gets. And Trevin Brazil, that was our main topic at the end of the week last week. Can Trevin continue to play at that level when you haven't seen him be consistent throughout his time at Arkansas? So, the more I think about it, Matt, the more Saturday's game, I still don't think you should be losing that badly to that team, to South Carolina. I understand they've played well at home and all that. That's their second win in conference. That's the only thing I need to know. I understand they've won 2 games in a row and they've both been at home. Even if you lose that game, it should be a tight ball game. It should have never gotten as far out of hand as it did, but it still does make a little bit of sense to me.
I'd have left a coach behind in Colin Murray Boyles, who sounds like he plays midfield for Tottenham Hotspur over there in London. But I'd have gave him. We'd be getting him up on the hill. That dude, he's one of the best bigs as far as can handle the ball, can pass the ball, has touch, can give you 2 or 3 different type of moves. We don't have anybody on our team like that. Which that's one of the best bigs we've played all year.
2 games left in the regular season. The women's team is headed to South Carolina later today for the SEC tournament. They won their first game in College Station since 1991 yesterday and finished with the 13th seed. They'll play Georgia Wednesday, and if they win that game, then it's Oklahoma, and then we'll see what happens after that. But it's March, so what does March mean to you for sports? For me, March in sports is all about March Madness in basketball, although I don't know how much our teams will be going deep this month. So March also is about the college baseball season starting to take shape. You start conference play in a little less than 2 weeks. You get Major League Baseball right now beginning well, not in the beginnings. It's kind of still at the early stretches of Grapefruit League and Cactus League play. So spring training can be fun, though those are not games that you worry about the final score too much. What does the month of March mean to you in the world of sports? Those are the two things for me. And you know what? We've got spring football practice coming up soon. So, Matt, that's, I don't usually think of football in the month of March, but you give it about 7 days, well, there'll be plenty of football going on at the Smith Football Complex. So that's what March means to me. I can imagine for you, Matt, a guy who played football and basketball at Arkansas, March is about, well, basketball and football.
Yeah, you got some good golf tournaments coming up. St. Patty's Day in March. About to start swinging the sticks again.
Got to be excited about that. Think you might be out 2-3 times this week? You think you can start getting out to about 5-6 times a week too? I know that golf can be highly addictive, and I know that's one of your favorite things to do. So today might be the right day to get out. Who knows?
Beautiful today in the River Valley.
Absolutely. Beautiful up here in Fayetteville. Got some clouds up here. I know we got some pretty heavy storms, though, that are on the way tomorrow. Should be a little bit ugly in the morning into potentially the early afternoon tomorrow, but then we ought to be just fine for the rest of the week. Here's what we got going on halftime for this Monday. Lots of time for calls and texts. We'll just have one guest. That's Mike Irwin. That'll be at the bottom of this hour. Mike, of course, from Pig Trail Nation, joining us every Monday. Your calls and texts as we go throughout up until 2 o'clock, 877-377-6963. And we'll get a little more into the basketball, well, maybe a little more of the baseball thing this next segment, because we had something yesterday happen at Paul Walker that very rarely ever happens in a baseball game at any level. Want to remind you about the Greater River Valley RV Show that's going on right now at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. All the best deals on all of their inventory and great financing available as well. Crabtree RV Center continues to serve the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas, as they have done for 75 years as a family-owned business, always giving you the best RV purchasing experience, choosing the right RV, personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department. More online at crabtreerv.com. Halftime continues after this quick break.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is halftime.
We hear all the commercials that air on the Fort Smith ESPN radio station. And Ty sells more stuff on that station and during the commercial break. I hear it every day. I have decided on a field trip to Fort Smith. I'm going to Rainwaters.
So you should do a tour of all the spots, all the places in Fort Smith. Ty does their spots and stuff. Walk in and say, hey, Ty sent me.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hey, Tuesdays is a great day to stop by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I know everyone thinks tacos on Tuesday, Brooklyn, but you guys have taco pizzas on special as well, plus some special drink prices on Mexican beers.
Yes, we have our $1 off Mexican imports, $2 off margaritas, $1 off when wearing a Papa's t-shirt.
How many Papa's Pub t-shirts do you have?
Quite a bit right now in stock.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one Baby Shad. The original Baby Shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original Baby Shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Take your baby by the hand, make her do a handstand. Take your baby by the heel, do the next thing that you feel. We were so in place, in a dance, oh, dance. We were cool. You and everyone we knew to lean to share what was true.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Johnson Bryce behind, nothing in two. The pitch. Immaculate. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. Parker Coyle is fired up. That's awesome.
One of the most rarest and unique achievements, I think, in all of sports, never mind just baseball, yesterday occurred at Baum Walker Stadium. Razorback junior left-hander Parker Coyle achieved an immaculate inning, which is 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. It's as simple as it gets. You can't throw a ball. They can't put a pitch into play. This is, I think, the only other thing I can think of that is rarer would be a 4-homer game or a pitcher getting 3 outs on 3 pitches. Because I've seen a lot of batters make outs on the first pitch, the first 2 hitters, but that's pretty much a guarantee that the 3rd hitter is taking the next pitch. That's always a guarantee. Like, you will never see anybody get 3 outs on 3 pitches unless it involves a double play, and then we're talking about something different. But there's a reason that we use the word immaculate for this, because immaculate is as perfect can be. And to strike out 3 batters on 9 pitches, you can't do any better than that. So congratulations, Parker Coyle. And the guys on the morning rush today were trying to figure about any other achievement that feels kind of the same. I couldn't
A
think
perfect
of
hat trick where you have a header and then one's a left foot and one's a right foot. That's in soccer. If you score 3 goals,
That's
in
what they
3
call
different-
it, a perfect
it's-
hat trick?
Well, I mean, that's it though. I've seen it happen. They'll make a big deal about it. If I've watched soccer for 15 years, I've seen it happen 3 times. Like it had. Ronaldo would do it. If you got it. First of all, you got to score 3 goals in a game. How hard is that?
Right. Yeah, like striking out 3 batters in an inning without even allowing anybody to reach is pretty difficult to do in and of itself. But to not allow any pitch put into play, and for all your pitches to be strikes, yeah, and it's. I think I might have seen one of those in the minor leagues. I'd never seen it with the Razorbacks. Dave Van Horn has said he'd never seen it with the Razorbacks. 23rd year coaching, and had not seen it happen before. I think we came close a few years ago. I think Patrick Wicklander might have been 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning. Got 2 strikeouts and then an 0-2 count, and I don't remember what happened after that, but it wasn't strike 3.
To this date, Ronaldo has the most perfect hat tricks in history with 10.
I think the immaculate inning has happened in Major League Baseball just over 100 times. Very rare.
Very
for
rare.
a sport that's been a thing for like 150 years. Yeah. And Parker is not the pitcher that I would have thought would pull this off. It does say a lot about how much he may have jumped this year. It always felt that Parker was just a little bit short on velocity. Not to pull something like that off, because think of all the other pitchers that have come through Arkansas that never did this before. Hello, Hagen Smith. He set a record last year for strikeouts per 9 innings in a college season. He never struck out 3 batters on 9 pitches. He went too deep into the count too often to do that. Christian Fauch, that's another guy with this sort of stuff to maybe pull that off. Kevin Kopps, think of all the times he struck out the side in that Golden Spike season, and he never did it either. Blaine Knight, Isaiah Campbell, Matt Cronin, these are just the pitchers that I've been around for calling games. Never mind Dallas Keuchel, Cliff Lee, Jess Todd, guys that got to the big leagues. And Coyle obviously has taken a big jump, but it also says something about competing and trusting your stuff and doing something that is about as rare as it gets. So good for him. That's really, really cool. JT says unassisted triple play. Yeah, that would probably be, I'd say the 4-homer game is probably the rarest of feats. The unassisted triple play would probably be second. But that's also, there's luck involved in that. For one thing, you got to have 2 men on base for it to happen. And it's an unassisted triple play, as great of a play as it is, it's fluky because it deals with mistakes by the runners, and they're freezing because of a hard-line drive. So there's a little bit of a flukiness to it. It is an achievement, but I don't see it quite the same as striking out the side on 9 pitches. That's just very 1 versus 1. That's 1 versus 1 3 times, and you take it from there. And then another achievement yesterday, Jordan Anthony, he's been running track, SEC 60-meter champion.
Ooh, flinched by Ocon. They don't call it back. Reed is out. Here comes Ocon. Ooh, that very blanket finish. I still think that Israel Ocon got it at the wire. Very close between he and Reed, and even Azim Fahmy in lane 1 from Auburn was in the mix. Jordan Anthony from lane 7. And, man, that is huge for Arkansas because they are in a pitched battle with the Aggies. And that is a somewhat unlooked-for victory.
6'5" is the SEC indoor 60-meter dash champion. The Razorback men did finish second at Texas A&M, but here was Anthony afterwards talking with the SEC network coverage.
Right, I'm here with the one guy who knew when he crossed the tape and the finish line that he had won. Everybody else was looking up for it. How is it that you looked up there and were confident that you were the 6'5" guy?
Coach Case put it in me. We build each other at practice. Run through the line. I haven't been running through the line. All the 2 races, my 60. Yesterday I ran 660. That wasn't me. I was the person I didn't know. So then I had to come back and show everybody. Jay back. They thought I lost. No, I had to find myself.
Jordan Anthony, he's really good if it's 100 yards. He's really good at 60 meters. Congratulations.
I hear he can also catch the football, Matt. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that this next season.
He said, "Who is that guy? That ain't me." I had to go find myself.
I think he found himself pretty quickly, didn't he?
You
and
would
they didn't
think
even
that
think he was the winner.
You would think that we got a pretty clever offensive coordinator. You would think you would find ways to get somebody like that up the ball a little bit.
Yeah, and so that also goes to
Because
did
you can't
see,
do that either without a work ethic. You don't play both sports and not want to be able to compete. So that tells you a lot. Anybody up there playing both sports, they like to compete.
No kidding. We're talking to somebody right now that knows all about that. And then I saw where Isaac Tesla had a really good showing at the Combine. It's one specific drill. Let me find it here. He finished 4th out of the 39 wide receivers that ran the 10-yard split. 1-5-1. He was 17th in the 40-yard dash. He was actually he was quicker than Andrew Armstrong in both both races or both drills. And you can't help but wonder too about if Tesla was underused at Arkansas as well. That's a drum you were beating all season.
What did those two kids measure, and what was their height and weight to Tesla and Armstrong? I wonder, because I wonder if Tesla's 6'3" or if he's 6'1".
They got Tesla at 6'4".
6'4". That tells. I mean, that's a slot. You start looking at what he does at that next level. I really think they move him inside the head. 6'4" is big enough. That's kind of your low end for an H-back right there. And Andrew Armstrong, yeah, he. So what was the knock on him? He has trouble creating separation. But when the ball gets to him, his hands, he reminds me of Anquan Bolden. Like his hands are so tough. He didn't have a lot of drops. Neither one of those kids had a lot of drops.
Look at some of the other drills where Tesla finished here. He was 3rd amongst the wide receivers in the vertical jump, 39.5. 6th in the broad jump, 10.9. He was 9th in the 3-cone drill. He won the 20-yard shuttle. He was the best in the 20-yard shuttle. 12 wide receivers took part in it. 4:05 was his time, and he bench pressed 17 reps, which was 3rd out of 8 receivers that did the bench press. I mean, Isaac Tesla had his stock's got to be rising here.
What he did is he's going to get drafted now. 100% he'll get drafted. That's what he did. Instead of being, and sometimes they say, well, where are you going to go? But I think that's what you go out there and you perform and put up numbers. I mean, that's kind of how when it gets down to it, they're like, all right, well, we're down to the 12th receiver in the draft. Well, let's look at him. I mean, you're always being evaluated.
And you asked about Armstrong, 6'4", 202. He had a 4.52 in the 40, 1.53 in the 10-yard split. He measured kind of in the middle in a lot of the drills for receivers. But a thing about Armstrong that just seemed to stand out, he found ways to get open, and he was really good battling for the ball. But I mean, that was one aspect. I remember we had asked Bill King about this, and I wondered what you thought about it too, Matt. In terms of separation, scouts are looking for receivers that can separate. Armstrong's great at battling for the ball too, and just catching it with a little bit of room by the sideline. I do wonder about his ability to get away. I wonder the same thing about Tesla, but just judging by these results, maybe I missed that he got open a little bit more.
Yeah, you got to try. You got to be able to stand in the pocket and go through your reads and get people the ball. Good for both of them, man. That's good. That's good news. You had Landon Jackson tear it up, and now Andrew Armstrong and Tesla doing their thing. I think what did we say? What'd you say when about all those 5 guys that were going to the Combine? I said I think all 5 of them are going to get drafted, and when they go out there and put numbers like that, that's what's going to happen.
Right, so you'd mentioned. I remember. Look, we were talking about Eric Gregory, and because of some of the times that he ran, he was a little bit slower. You said, look, he's an inside guy. They're worried about the bench press. 28 reps, tied for 2nd amongst the defensive tackles.
There you go.
You're right about that, Matt. Absolutely. We're brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, right next to Baum. It is baseball season, tail end of basketball season. Make sure you got everything you need to be out in the hog pen because it's beautiful weather this next weekend. And the Stadium Shop has everything you need to be in the hog pen. They got everything, all your flags, all your hats, all your chairs, and you can find them right next to Baum Walker. You can give them a call at 479-782-3486, or just stop by the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road and make sure they know ESPN sent you. They're online at on Razorback.com. Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin joining halftime for a segment, so stay with us.
Last issue, Chaz Michael Michaels is figure skating.
This is halftime.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult...
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than
pricing and better selection. We'll have exciting new brands to serve more of your needs. Come by and check out our deeply discounted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Sister, that you knew me, and you end up dancing closer to me. I know that I broke the rule already. She asked me if I'm single, going steady. I just dropped my head and took a step off into the dark.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Monday morning, Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin joining us on Halftime. Always appreciate your time, Mike. How was your weekend?
Baseball was okay. Basketball was bad. It's just, that's the way it goes.
Is that how you Is that how you detail whether your weekend was positive or negative? It was based upon how the teams played.
Out and does an amazing transformation in the last 2.5 months. Goes from being a guy that probably was not even going to get drafted. He's an undrafted free agent. And then he turns in a performance when you combine all of the stuff that he did. They said it was in the top 0.5% of all 3,500 receivers in the draft, in the combine going back to 85. It's astounding. So if the NFL believes in this stuff, and they say they do, then he's got to be what? A second-round draft pick now? I don't know if he'll go that high. But it was just amazing. This guy did not run a 4.440 here at Arkansas. He did not look physically like that. But instead of giving him credit for doing one of the greatest jobs ever of preparing for the draft, they're all blaming Sam Pittman. It's Pittman's fault. Should have played him more. Well, he didn't look that way. He wasn't that fast the whole time he was here. So that's the part, It bothers me that some fans can't be happy when somebody does something good. They always have to throw something negative into it. I'm just amazed at what he did. I don't know that I've ever seen an athlete prepare for the draft, for the combine better than he's done.
Yeah, I think everybody that's from the University of Arkansas that went there to the combine, Mike, I think they're all going to get drafted. What about Landon Jack? Now, wouldn't that be something though if he was drafted before Andrew Armstrong? Which I don't think that'd happen, but that would be something. But Landon Jackson, he stole the show when he was there. I thought he was a top 100 pick before the combine. Now I think he's a top 50. You see Landon Jackson going in the first 2 rounds?
Maybe, and that's the whole point. When you look at the performance of the Razorbacks in that thing, and then you consider all these people that are blaming Sam Pittman for it. Well, if he's so bad, how did this happen? The program is not in the terrible shape that people say it's in, and I think this is good news. Anytime you've got players doing well in the combine, that helps your recruiting. Coaches can go out and say, "Look what we did with this guy. Look, he's going to play NFL football." And that more than anything else gets you good players, because that's why you go to a school. You want to go to win, but you also want to get to the next level.
I just wonder if I don't know what his time was in the 40. I don't know what his time was in whatever shuttle run they might have done at Arkansas. It just appears that he's a better athlete than I gave him credit for. Has all of this just happened in the last couple of months, or is this really just a case of somebody that has not grown into his body, but just maybe just been a workout fiend really for the last, maybe 6 or 7 months? It just still feels like he might have been underused. It's great that he's going to get drafted and put on this amazing show, but I don't blame fans for feeling like he might not have been used as much as maybe he could have been.
Well, maybe underused, but no. When he was recruited, he was a 4.6 guy, and the word on him was he had good hands, ran good routes, And I remember the reaction when they got him out of the portal. It was like, are you kidding me? This is how we're going to win in the SEC with guys like this? And he got here, and he did a good job. They just, I don't know, if you're going to blame somebody, blame Bobby Petrino, not Pittman, because he clearly made him a backup to, Satania, who, in my opinion, underperformed. But you can always do these things in retrospect. But I'm just talking about when a guy, and I do think he was getting faster. I think in the A&M game, we saw him get wide open on one play and showed speed I didn't see before. So I don't think the speed just came in 1-2 month period. I think he was getting there. But I do think he did some things in the last 2.5 months, because it's not just his 40 time. Everything he did there, every one of those things he did was top level. And that's why he's in the top 0.5% of all wide receivers ever at the combine. That's what gets me. And I think you got to give that kid credit, because I think guys know going in, I got to get ready for the combine. I got to do this, or I got to get ready for pro day. But when a guy does something like that, you just go, look what can happen if you really dedicate yourself.
Hey, Mike, speaking of somebody that has real speed and who's electric, Jordan Anthony, who wins the 60 meters, what are your thoughts on him as a receiver? I mean, he's going to be a receiver again next year. Can he? How are his hands? Can we translate that into football speed?
I don't think there's enough data on him to know, because they didn't use him much. I think he was at A&M, right? They didn't use him much. So we'll see. The thing you got to hope with him, in order to be effective and have him be effective, because he's a speed guy, is you got to hope that offensive line, and they've gone in and totally transformed it through the portal again. But you got to hope they block better for Taylor Green, so he's got enough time to not just have to quickly get it to somebody, on a shorter route, a crossing route or whatever, that you got the time to drop back and then see that guy going deep and get it to him. But that's another possibility when you look at the speed he's got. Now, I'm not sure what he's going to do with regard to spring football. I don't know if he's going to take some time away from track now and do spring football and then come back for outdoor. I haven't asked yet, but that would be an interesting thing to find out.
Hey, Mike, let's get into the basketball game against South Carolina. Should we have seen a performance like this coming? Maybe not necessarily against that team, but with all the minutes, you get 7 guys playing, all the energy they'd had to put into the Texas game. Does it make any sense? Not 14 points and a half or 3 out of whatever it was in the first half shooting, but should we have kind of expected a dud at some point soon?
Yeah, I think so. You kind of hope it doesn't happen, but you were in such a hole. And, Cal talked about we went 5-3 in February, and the 3 losses we had were close, and they were all to top 10 teams. So you didn't have a bad game in that stretch, that 8-game stretch. They didn't play bad. And they cut down on these little gaps they had where they didn't score. Well, now this was a whole game of gaps. I mean, it was amazing to watch in the last 6 minutes of the game. It was like somebody flipped a switch, and they turned back into that other team. So what in the heck happened? He explained it pretty good. He said when the shots aren't falling, the one thing you have to do is start playing better defense. And he said we did the opposite. We got so into trying to figure out ways to score, and we did crazy things on the offensive end that weren't going to work. And then we just stopped playing defense, and you saw him just rip Arkansas apart Adu was the one that surprised me. Jonas had been playing really good defense, and he wasn't effective at all. And so they're in a bad position, guys. They are, because anybody that watched Vanderbilt beat Missouri, those guys are you just almost don't beat them in Nashville. And then Mississippi State plays that same kind of in-your-face defense. So if, let's say, Arkansas just wins one game now, okay, well, what does that do? Do you get in? And then there were these metrics that everybody follows. In Texas, you beat Texas twice, and they're still ahead of you in the net. And they got beat by 16 at South Carolina. So what does all this stuff mean? And in the end, what I'm left with is You just got to watch Selection Sunday and cross your fingers because you don't know what's going to happen.
Isn't that fun? Isn't
Yeah.
that a lot of fun to be waiting and expect? Kind of, I think a lot of people will be expecting that Arkansas could end up as the 69th team out of 68, the
right.
world's smallest
And
violin team.
And the issue becomes, what does the committee say about the SEC? What do they conclude? Do they conclude that, hey, this was a year in which, 12 or 13 teams from the SEC legitimately should get in? If they do, then I think Arkansas is in. But do they decide that, or is it more like 11, or even 10? I don't know. And then we're going to find out once the tournament starts how legitimate that was. And how do these SEC teams do once they're not playing each other anymore? Because if what we think is correct, they're going to start beating everybody else again. But how does the committee, evaluate that?
I haven't always seen it work that way either. Like I remember, you'd see this in the 90s sometimes, and in the first decade of 2000s with the Big East, where you'd have like Pitt, Pitt, Georgetown, UConn, even Marquette. When D Wade was there, and they had these
Maryland,
great teams that would beat the crap out of each other throughout the regular season, and there would be great teams. We're going to watch all three of these teams are going to end up in the Final Four. You're going to have three in the Elite Eight or something, and it didn't happen. Sometimes the teams that beat themselves up because their league is so rugged, they're beat up by the time they get to March.
Absolutely. I think we saw that in football in the SEC. So you're right. Do you pay a price for doing this? And then now there's this talk again. You guys probably saw it, where the SEC supposedly getting together with the Big Ten and talking about this super football conference with maybe 38, 40, 44 teams. You invite a few teams from the other leagues, and you don't play any mid-majors. You just play each other, and you expand the playoff to 16 teams, and then you just. That scares. I don't even want to watch something like that, because you can't take all of these other teams and just reduce them and say you don't count anymore. Go away. I don't want a Louisiana Tech or even an Arkansas State or teams like that to just become totally irrelevant. You're not good enough to play with us, and it would be done. Why? Because the networks are saying, if you want big time money from us, if you want more money from us, we don't want those teams on our airwaves. We want all of you. We want to pick out the top 48 teams in the country, and we only want to put those games on TV because that will get us ratings. And then what have you done? You've just, in the name of money, you've just taken 2/3 of the football team across this country and said, you're not good enough. Go away.
Hey, before we go, Bub had asked about if we have any information on Adu Thero. You're a real journalist, Mike, so I don't know if you've been able to dig and find anything out about this hyperextended knee. Do we have any sort of understanding as to how long Adu is out?
Supposedly it's a meniscus tear. And those things, what happens is a lot of times they go in and clean that loose cartilage out, and it's anywhere from a 2, 3, 4 week time to come back. It depends on how much of a tear there is, because sometimes you get irritation and you get swelling and there's pain, and then after a week or two it kind of goes away. And it sounds like to me, because they haven't made any announcement, haven't made any decision to do any sort of arthroscopic surgery, that what they're doing is waiting and seeing if the swelling goes down and the pain goes away, and we can go ahead and play him at some point. Because if they have to go in and clean it out now, he's probably not going to be back in time for the end of the season.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that info, Mike. Appreciate you coming on, and always enjoy it. Thanks a lot. We'll do it again next Monday.
Okay. See you guys.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. Always appreciate his time and that little bit of information about Adu Thero. Opening up the Lewis Automotive hotline for you right now, 877-377-6963. We'll be back to wrap up the first hour after this.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Cold Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I got a couple of baseball terms that may be more rarer than an immaculate inning. Kevin in Fort Smith said, and how about a 7 for 7? I know that happened once in Major League history. Rennie Stennett of the Pirates pulled it off. I used to play Colt League with his nephews, Jose and Carlos. And Micah, he's right about this. One player hitting 2 grand slams in the same inning, and I think that's happened once in Major League history. It was Fernando Tatis Sr. did that with the Cardinals. I think it was 2000, something like that. So, yeah, those two would be more rare than an immaculate inning.
99-yard touchdowns. However way you put it up, if it's an interception return, if it's from the one, however you do it, but 99 yards, those touchdowns don't happen.
No, you're right.
Very rare.
109-yard punt returon.
Man, that
right?
kick six. What about that kick six for the Iron Bowl? Whatever that was. That was just like I mean I don't know what what do you even say to that? That was wild.
So I think you put it. So that has to be maybe the rarest play in sports.
A touchdown off of a field goal, like the kick.
Touchdown off of a field goal to win the game, like a walk-off touchdown off a field goal. That's pretty. Like it'd be an immaculate inning to save the 7th game of the World Series. That's what that would be. That's what that is. Especially if it's the Iron Bowl. I mean, come on. I don't know if I can think of another play that is. I'm sure somebody out there can. Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Walk-off touchdown on a missed field goal that goes 109 yards to beat your arch rival. That's probably at the top of the pyramid of the rarest of rare. Works for me. But, yeah, I do appreciate the connections on 7 for 7 and 2 grand slams in 1 inning. Absolutely, those things. And Guyman says 2 inside the park home runs in consecutive plate appearances. That sounds like it's – I don't know if that's ever happened before, to be honest. I knew about the 7 for 7. I knew about the 2 grannies in an inning. How about if you hit your 2 grand slams in the same inning from either side of the plate? Now, how about if you strike out 3 batters in an inning and you strike out 2 with your right arm and 1 with your left arm, like that kid who was pitching with both arms last year for Mississippi State?
They had a stat. It was two games ago, so it would have been the Texas game. Big Z was the only player in the country through the Texas game to have 50-plus three-pointers made and 40-plus blocks so far this year. So, I mean, he's – talk about working your draft status. That's pretty good.
That's some unicorn stuff. You're right. We have more unicorn stuff coming up in hour number 2 of halftime. They won't have anything to do with actual unicorns. The Lewis Automotive Hotline will be open at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, they're the new sponsor of our hotline number on ESPN Arkansas, home of the Lewis Guarantee. We'll have 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smiles in 20 minutes. Otherwise, hit us up. We'll be right back.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Life.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google or Yahoo it or Bing it. Jasco Graphic Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith.
March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover as we head through the afternoon. We're going to warm things up right around 60. Chance of seeing showers and some scattered thunderstorms tonight. Temperatures will drop down into the low 50s and rise as we head through the overnight. Showers and thunderstorms could be intense Tuesday, a high right around 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that respect it.
Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime rolling on. It's a beautiful Monday. Glad to be with you on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Craziness is kind of starting this week for our show here because in the middle of the day, I am not on the show on Wednesday. Arkansas women's basketball plays Georgia in the second game of Wednesday's opening session. The first game is at 10 o'clock Central. Hogs and Georgia playing after that, so that's right in the middle of the show. If they win that game, and they could beat Georgia. Georgia is coming off a win against Tennessee, but they beat the Hogs by just 1 point in Georgia, so I think that's a winnable game. Then Arkansas plays Oklahoma Thursday, which also means I'd have to miss Thursday's show. So that's what happens tournament time. You never know if you're part of if you're with a basketball team, if you're attached to them, embedded with them, as I think I'd like to be called, like a war correspondent. Then you never quite know what the week's going to look like.
Yeah, there you go. So Wednesday, that'll be fun, and then Thursday, and then there you are. We're right back to it.
I'll get back Friday unless Arkansas pulls off something that would feel surprising, which would be 3 wins in the women's SEC tournament. But got a win yesterday over A&M, and you know what? That was their first win in College Station since 1991.
You know, Coach Cal's
never beaten the Aggies since they joined the SEC in College Station.
Coach Cal's 5-6 in his last 11 games when he's a visiting team in Columbia. He's 5-6, and whether taking Kentucky or the Hogs there, so it's just it's not really a good place for him.
I've been in that building for a lot of women's games, and it can get incredibly loud. But I think they draw more for the women's games. I mean, national champions.
That's the other thing that you bring up. I bet you, because when I was watching the game, I don't know if you got to look at, there was a lot of empty seats, and when you have an early game at 11, changing time zones, and there's really no energy, you kind of have to kind of learn how to be a professional, and you're so used to the atmosphere being amazing, and then all of a sudden you can hear people eating nachos. It's kind of sometimes that's how we looked. We just looked flat the entire game.
Well, that's just kind of how you'd wake up sometimes for the first game of the session of a conference tournament. If you're playing at 11 in the morning, it takes some time to get everything going. I don't know how all you people that show up for work at 8:30 actually show up and get to work immediately. Or do you do the thing from Office Space where you just kind of sit there for 15 minutes, just kind of zone out for a while? That helps. You're right, too. But what was the game? I forget the game where Cal had said maybe we should have had a shoot-around because we played at 11 in the morning.
That was when we lost at LSU. No. That wasn't 11 in the morning, but I thought it was when we
I forget the game it was, but I don't think
at Tennessee we played at noon. You're right. That was our first SEC game.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if a shoot-around had much to do about that. It's just a team that, look, they're hot and cold when it comes to shooting, and they've been a little hotter of late, and that includes point blank. I mean, right there at the rim. It was back to what we saw in January against the Gamecocks, Matt. Missing open threes, some of those were defended, but you got to be able to finish sometimes. Just really had trouble finishing around the rim and trouble hitting from just about anywhere that you tried to shoot from. But I would like to think that it's a one-off performance because you really can't have anything worse than the first half against South Carolina. I don't think it can get much worse than that.
We didn't get much into this with Mike, but we if you want to. So we just took an L at South Carolina, right? You lose to Vandy, you lose to Mississippi State, you lose the first round of the SEC tournament. I don't think you're getting to the tournament. That means you end on a 4-game losing streak. How important? I mean, I really think you have to split one of these next 2 games to guarantee a spot into the tournament.
Well, I always believe you don't make your case in the conference tournament, but maybe this year's a little different because of the larger. Because it's a larger league.
But if you finish on a 4-game losing streak, I don't think you make it's what I'm saying. I just don't.
No, I think you're right.
If you finish these last 3 games, so you kind of negate. We just lost everything that happened with the Texas win. But if you finish losing the last 3 games of the regular season, then lose your first game, because you didn't earn it. In my mind, there's no way this team earned a right to earn a bid to the NCAA tournament.
No, I think if you're going to back into the tournament, that means you were you had a good January and you had a pretty good start to February. Not the way that this went down. You got to finish strong if you're going to get in. And that may include, if you go 1-1 in these next couple of ball games, depending on if you lose at home, I do think you may need a win in the conference tournament just to cement it, because you may end up playing against a team that you're also battling, on the bubble or close enough. So let's take a couple of calls. These are guys that love to talk basketball. Cecil's up first. Hey, Cecil, good afternoon. What's going on?
Let me turn my radio down. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Y'all were talking about the I knew y'all was talking about like a kickoff, was it a field goal running it back? Is that what y'all was saying?
Yeah, we're talking about
I think
some of the
Ed Reed
plays in sports.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, actually, and I'm gonna be honest, man. Ever since I've been able to watch the Arkansas Razorbacks, which has been decades, I've always watched them. I glued to the television, and Ben Cowens was one of my favorite. Michael Fords, Donnie Bobo, all of them. Well, anyway, we was playing against Texas Tech. And that's when we had Steve Little and them back in the days. And they used to kick Russell Erkshlaven, Texas and Texas A&M and Steve Little. They had all 3 top field goal kickers. And so we were playing against Texas Tech, though. We were playing against Texas Tech at this time, though. My bad. And Ben Calvin, the ball was short. It was a super long field goal. And Ben Calvin caught it in the end zone and ran it all the way back. You can Google that. I remember that like yesterday. And I just wanted to share that because after y'all got to talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I remember seeing that game like that.
Another pretty rare one was in one of these overtime games. the team scores, gets their 2-point conversion, or doesn't get their 2-point conversion, but the other team scores, and so it's time. They're going for a 2-point conversion, but they throw a pick six for 2 the other way. Like I've only seen that happen. Well, because you got to make it to overtime. I've seen that happen once.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Thanks a lot, Cecil. Good to hear from you. It's our Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Let's go to Charlie. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
Well, Phil, you said me and Cecil love basketball. We do, but I think I'm kind of like Cecil. There's not really much to discuss about Saturday because what's the point? I think that is exactly that's one of those games that you grab the tape and you burn it. I really do, and I know people don't want to hear that right now. But I don't think you can take anything from that game and be like, yep. Because I don't think that has been the character or the identity of this team. I think you said it best. I think it was a one-off. I think they just everything that they did, they couldn't make a layup. They couldn't make free throws. And a lot of shots were short. A lot of guys were missing to the left, the right, air ball, and they were off completely. So they weren't there the other day, so it doesn't matter. It's really nothing to even talk about. They just didn't show up to play. And, I thought they defended in the first half, but when your offense is so bad, when you play offense that bad, eventually you're not going to win. So it was that kind of day. I did want to touch on, by the way, and this is crazy to me, Matt, the Lakers have moved themselves all the way up to the 2 seed in the West. And I have no idea how they're doing that. I don't think they'll stay there. But I was going to ask you, like, we talk about the NBA a lot. I think Boston is the favorite coming out of the East by far. And then I think in the West, it's kind of more wide open this year. I don't really know. OKC is the 1 seed, but I think, again, if they run into a team that's more experienced and a bad matchup for them, it could send them to the house. Now, Phil, I wanted to ask you the baseball stuff. I got a text from my homie the other day, and he goes, man, I am so worried about our starting pitching right now. I'm like, bro, it is so early. We just lost one of our better starting pitchers. I am more encouraged by what we are getting out of the bullpen right now from everyone that's kind of coming in and doing a really good job, whether it be a left-hander or a right-hander. And that's what I told him. I said, look, now, maybe the rotation switch up a little bit. I don't know if what's-his-name starts game 1 when they play again. But, Bottle Cheese, every time he's been in there, he's done great. But, I'm really proud of what we've done out of the pen. And I just wanted to, the guys all of them are contributing and playing well. Parker Coyle, Fisher, all these guys. So, now, what's-his-name? Fouch didn't close well. But I expect him to bounce back. And the same with Wiggins. Those are the 2 guys that are kind of battling it out. Right field to be the closer, Fouch and Wiggins.
I wouldn't say they're battling it out because I think they're both going to get chances to close. But, yeah, if one falters, then the other guy probably gets the first opportunity on a weekend. Yeah. Charlie, it's good to hear from you, man. I always appreciate your phone calls. Maybe a little concerning about the starting pitching, and more than anything, it's just Gackle. Root didn't have the best first inning, but he was pretty good after that. I really like Zach Root. I really like Landon Beinelshees, too. I really like Gabe Gackle, but, there wasn't anything fluky about how he got knocked around on Friday. Like, it wasn't a matter of just, bloopers or anything or a lot of walks. He just got knocked around. He had a lot of the middle of the plate, and he's going to have to figure that out because they need a Friday pitcher to be a Friday guy, to be an innings guy. You can't have somebody it's obvious to say you can't have somebody that gives up 9 runs in 3 innings, but you got to have somebody that can go deep in games. And Gabe's shown that he'll do that this year already. He's gotten into the 7th inning, but you can't get knocked around like that and be a Friday pitcher, especially with the way the other 2 guys have pitched. And I do share some concerns about Fouch, not in terms of stuff, but that his stuff is incredible. But he gets hit sometimes. For someone that has the most electric fastball on the team, I think it's going to be amazingly important for him to be able to get ahead of hitters and then use that slider, because his slider can be a devastating weapon. But I do share some of those concerns. I think the bullpen is really deep. I do think that there are options to start. I also know that we'll expect to see Gage Wood back within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And he, to me, looked like the guy who might be able to be a Friday guy if given the opportunity. So Gackle's got the stuff to do it. That's why this next Friday game against Portland this weekend is really important, because next week the Friday game's at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss ain't missing right now very much. So those are thoughts on the baseball team. I'll have some more thoughts on that as we go throughout the show too.
What's Portland's mascot? Are they the Timbers?
They are the Pilot.
Oh, like an airplane pilot, or like a pilot light?
I think it's just a pilot, like an airline pilot.
Okay.
I don't exactly know why it is that. Maybe they've got a good aviation school. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Fair enough.
Pilots. I'm looking at their logo, and it looks like it's more of a maritime logo. So maybe it's a seafaring pilot. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're coastal.
I don't really know much about that.
They're with my favorite of the coastal gulls, the Seahawks.
I love the Portland Mavericks. That was there was a movie about them. It was a minor league team in the late 70s. Kurt Russell played for them because his dad owned them, and they were a bunch of idiots basically. That's why they were called the Mavericks. All right, we got a break. We've got Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smiles. We got 3 up, 3 down in just a moment, so stay with us on Halftime.
The Jerk Store called. They're running out of you.
This is Halftime.
The SEC has changed. Our coach has changed. Our roster has changed. One thing that hasn't changed, who we are. We are a championship program. We are led by...
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago yo el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la vida.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade. Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Across the street, juggling keys to a small red car. Butterflies and bugs fly close like she's on this movie star. Seven hopes and lonely since baby never's dry.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Thank you to Ben in Bentonville for giving us the information, Matt, on why the Portland Pilots are the Pilots with a maritime logo. Boats have a pilot house, and so that's why they're called the Pilots. I did like the explanation as to why Charlotte is the 49ers. They have nothing to do with the Gold Rush. University of North Carolina, Charlotte was founded in 1949, and so they're the 49ers for that reason only.
Nice. I can get behind that.
Makes sense. It's always got to have a year. 76ers, obvious reasons. 49ers, Gold Rush. There was an 89ers. Like Oklahoma City's minor league baseball team used to be the 89ers. Was Oklahoma brought into the Union in 1889? I got to look it up. It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Did try to imitate the announcer with my announcement of 3 up, 3 down. I feel like I did a fairly good job with it. 3 things up, 3 things down. We've got Dr. Charlie Liggett with us from River Valley Smiles. Charlie, how are you? And, man, I know you had a pretty interesting weekend, didn't you?
I did. It was a little bit crazy. I'll talk about it here in a second and kind of go over everything.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Doing good, though.
It's been a couple of crazy weekends in a row for your family. So
no kidding.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're good. And let's get right to it. First up, Izzy Higginbottom in a series of ups all year long. Yesterday at Arkansas women's basketball's win against Texas A&M, Izzy broke 3 records in yesterday's ball game. She broke the single-season record for made free throws in 1 year by an Arkansas women's basketball player. In fact, she's made more free throws than any player in the country, 235 of them. But yesterday she was 19 for 22 at the foul line, and I'll bet you she's still pissed she missed 3. 19 made free throws is a single-game record at Arkansas, and 22 attempts is a single-game record at Arkansas. She drew 13 fouls yesterday. I've never seen anybody draw 13 fouls in a game. Also, with at least one game left and probably at least maybe 2 games remaining, Izzy could set the single season record for points per game for Arkansas. She's at 23.9. The record is 23.1. And 17 more points, she will tie Chelsea Dungy's single season record for points in one season at Arkansas. Chelsea scored 759 in her, I think it was her second year as a full-time player at Arkansas. So Izzy's been worth the price of admission, and she certainly was yesterday. Now, my first down is to more Power 4 conference carousels. I don't think there's going to be any more movement amongst the conferences, at least for the next couple of years, until the college football playoff is figured out, and then we just kind of go from there because it's all willy-nilly at that point. Florida State and Clemson are expected today to settle their lawsuit against the ACC and therefore stay in the ACC with a new revenue distribution model, and I think that'll settle the ACC down. Big 12 schools seem to be pretty happy with their membership. The SEC isn't about to expand anytime soon. Neither is the Big 10. Matt, Charlie, we might actually have, I think the word would be stasis for college sports, at least in the idea of realignment amongst the Power 4. Maybe next year we'll actually remember who's in what league. You're up, Matt.
Yeah, that goes to my first down. I tried to put the first down goes on me. I tried to put Maryland in the Big East again when you and Mike were talking. So they're an ACC team, now a Big 10 team. Who knows? Maybe I'll get Maryland right. So first down goes to me. The first up goes to Jordan Anthony. I mean, dude, that's big time. Football player going out there winning the 60 meters, man. That's kudos to him, man. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That is super cool. All right, Charlie, what do you got number 1?
Well, Phil, maybe you can confirm this for me. When the Hogs were down 5-0 in the first on Friday, did you have a poopy lip?
Yeah, Bubba said something about that. It's a poo-poo lip.
Poo-poo lip.
Yeah, he said on the air that I did. I don't remember actually having one. It's just everybody's got a different look to what their poo-poo lip would be. Some might just be the bottom lip just protruding out a little bit. Others might be a tongue hanging out or something like that. But I didn't have that. I don't know what Bubba thought he saw.
Well, my first up is hog baseball. You guys have talked about it a lot, but Parker Coyle with the immaculate inning. I read that it's 3 times more common to have a no-hitter than an immaculate inning. But I think I heard you talking about it earlier, Phil. I think that it was Kevin Kopps that missed the immaculate inning by a ball against Georgia. I was at that game that year. I believe that's who it was.
And don't you think every single pitching or hitting coach or whatever would tell that third batter, you're not swinging at the first pitch just for you need to keep throwing and keeping the game going, like you're giving them the take sign.
It's always if the first 2 pitches are hit for outs, so it's like it would be a 3-pitch inning. No matter what,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, and then and I thought I watched the third at bat, and I think the third batter took the first pitch. It might be the same reason you're thinking about, but if the guy throws a strike, he throws.
Then
a
it's
strike.
a strike.
Yeah. Then you better have your bat ready to go after that.
I'll tell you what, I did miss Phil's good morning, good afternoon, good night 3 times in a row on that. I would like to hear that. But
hey, I was a little bummed out I didn't get to call it, but that's the breaks.
But how about Vahiva Loy and Iredale both have OPS over 1,200, and Vahiva Loy, his OPS is over 1,800 with 16 RBIs and 27 at bats. That's just nuts. And really good job by Big Mac too. Glad to see McIntyre come in there in a high leverage situation and really get the job done. It was
It's interesting that he didn't appear until Sunday's game. Usually you'd have seen Mac on a Friday, and if you didn't see him on a Friday, you'd have seen him on a Saturday.
And you wouldn't have seen him at all if everything went the way it was supposed to. You know,
pretty much. Yeah, you're right.
So go ahead.
No, I was going to say what you got for your first down.
Yeah, so
let's go right into it.
My first down is fighting at sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for it. So this weekend I was in Dallas at a cheerleading competition called NCA. So it's one of the biggest in the world. There are like, I think, almost 40 countries represented, over 100,000 people there. And so there's a fight between two dads, from what I hear. There's a lot of conflicting stories. Anyway, long story short, my daughter competed, and she wanted to stay with her friends and watch some other friends compete. And so my wife and I went down the street to grab some lunch. And so a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that the worst call you ever want to get is that your child.
I remember this.
Your child was in a wreck. I stand corrected. The worst call you ever want to get is when your child has been running a mile and is hiding in the kitchen of some random restaurant because there's supposedly an active shooter. It was absolutely the scariest thing you could possibly believe. The police have, the official report is that there was no active shooter. There's a lot of conflicting stories and videos, and that there's videos of the sound of shots fired.
Yeah, but independent of whether there was an active shooter or not, she obviously thought there was.
Absolutely.
And that's traumatic for anybody.
And think about my daughter's 16. Think about the little kids, how traumatic that would be for them. There are a lot of people that I heard about people that broke their legs getting trampled, and you got 100,000 people leaving a venue, and frantically. It's all if it was indeed all because of a fight between two parents. I mean, come on, this is a cheerleading competition, and just think of all the negative effects of that long term for all those people. No excuse for that.
Well, I'm glad that she's okay and that you and your wife are okay. And yeah, I mean, I saw some video of kids running off the stage and running out of the facility. It looked frightening. So whether or not there was an active shooter, it's a traumatic episode. I'm really sorry that happened.
She ran for a mile out of that venue. We checked her Life 360. She ran like under 6-minute mile. So,
oh my gosh!
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that. But I mean, it was crazy.
So does she run track? Maybe now's the time to think about it.
She did. She ran the 400 hurdles and she ran the 100, but she ended up retiring from track and just focuses only on cheerleading right now.
Wow, 6-minute mile seems like a bit of an achievement to me, at least. I've never run any better than like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she's good. I'm glad you and the family are good. And yeah, let's stop the fights at sporting events. As parents, I mean, people get they get drunk at football games. Stuff's going to happen. You're talking about like people at a cheerleading competition. Let's try to enjoy it as much as you can. All right, my second up, I'm going to go with Kuhio Aloy and Parker Coyle. Kuhio was 6 for 11 over the weekend, couple of doubles, homer, 7 RBIs. This is an example of somebody who has hit his way into the everyday lineup. And it's also an example of whatever you see in the fall isn't always what you're going to see in the season. We hear so much about, well, this guy in the fall wasn't really what we thought we were getting. It comes down to in the spring, and he turns into one of your best stars. Sometimes it all works out. Iredale was the best hitter in the fall. He may be the best hitter of the team right now. Kuhio Aloy wasn't hitting right-handers in the fall. You know what he's doing now? Hitting right-handers and left-handers. And if there was a pitcher that had a third arm, I think Kuhio could hit him too. Parker Coyle has retired 20 of 25 batters. So it ain't just the immaculate inning. It's every outing that he's had. He's looked outstanding. And this shows how somebody can make a jump from a second to a third year. It isn't just velocity. It's adding other pitches. He's got a splitter. His breaking ball has become better, and I think Parker's got a little deception to him as well. And the fact that he's a lefty just makes it that much better. So I'll give it up to both Kuhio and Parker Coyle.
We talked about
also
Kuhio.
Guys that
Kuhio.
Guys that have just made big jumps in the last few months.
Yeah, we talked about Kuhio a couple weeks ago about being possibly a pinch hit specialist. He's in the lineup from now on.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, too. It's 3 weeks into the season. There will be a slump at some point.
There's got to
be. The pitchers in the SEC, the coaches in the SEC, the pitching coaches in the SEC are too good. They will find a hole in Kuhio's swing. They'll find something in his approach to try to make him a different hitter than he is now. And this is what makes college baseball different from professional baseball, where you get multiple at-bats against the same team in about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a year instead of just 3 games in a college season. They'll find that hole. They will make you adjust. They'll do that in the SEC too, and so it's all about the adjustment for Cahillo when he's facing better pitchers. But for now, yeah, it doesn't get any better than him. Second down goes to me because I never thought it was possible for a halfway decent Division I basketball team to score 14 points in one half. Even a bad team in Division I basketball will score more than 14 and a half. I think Saturday was a fluke. I think they were tired. Now, I do think that, you know, if you're playing day after day in the SEC tournament, or if you have to play in the first 4 and then play 2 days later, if you win, I think that could affect this team. I really do, because I think they didn't have much gas left after the Texas game. So that's my second down. Matt, go ahead.
All right. My second up is going to go to Saturday Night Live. It was pretty funny. They had the 50th. You know, you had Dave Chappelle about a month ago. Then you had the 50th. Maybe SNL's back. You know, there's a lot of haters, and, you know, you like what you like. But Saturday Night Live's been pretty good so far this year. And then
Gillis is really funny.
Oh, he was the
host.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, he's hilarious. There were some funny skits in there. And then we talk about the Buffalo Bills. You got to be good to make the Super Bowl. They made it to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and lost all 4. Diane Warren, she's been nominated for an Oscar 16 times. She has the record for never winning an Oscar with most nominations. So her 16th was last night. I got to watch the Oscars. It was pretty cool. And a bonus up was Adam Sandler had on this little hoodie, and it sells in like a little LA surf shop or whatever, and sells for $175. It was sold out in 30 minutes. Who was the football player that was AJ Brown? Was he reading on the sideline in that
That's
book?
Right.
That book went up. Same thing. You just got to get your product with the right person at the right time.
That reminds me of the streak. What's the name of that actress?
Diane. Well, she's behind she's not necessarily an actress as much as she's kind of in the production and all that. She's been nominated. Diane Warren.
There was Susan Lucci, who was on All My Children for a long time. I think I looked it up because I remembered she had some sort of a streak. She was She had the nomination for Daytime Emmy for actress, and lost 18 straight times before finally winning in her 19th attempt.
That's like Jerry West, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Nose to the grindstone. Charlie, number 2, what you got?
One more thing about Aloy Bakio. He could go 0 for his next 22, and he'd still be batting 300.
Wow. All right, go ahead.
So Friday we sent 16 batters to the plate in the 4th inning. You were on that call, Phil. And so it kind of got me thinking, what's the most batters that have ever been to the plate in an inning? It was for the White Sox against the Rangers in 2002. They scored 30 runs on 16 hits and an error.
I remember that. I feel like I remember that one.
I do
what
too.
was the score with the Orioles a few years ago? Was it like 30-3? I think there was an Orioles score that was 30-3 a couple of years ago. All right, I got a third. I got a question for you guys here. All right, for my third one. Is a rescinded technical foul an up or a down? I'll explain. Yesterday in the women's basketball game in College Station, a Texas A&M player was called for a ball going off her body, out of bounds, Arkansas basketball. She looked at an official who didn't make the call and screamed something. That guy teed her up. The look on her face after that was like, I can't believe you just teed me for that. I didn't say anything, but he'd already teed her up. They walk over to the scores table. It's across from where I'm sitting. 2 minutes later, they rescind the technical foul. I can't remember. Maybe I've seen it, but I don't remember a technical foul being rescinded. Now, maybe this girl didn't say anything that necessitated a technical foul. Maybe the referee just had giant Bugs Bunny ears. There have been a few officials who have those large ears, and they grow during the game. So I don't know if it's an up or a down in this case. Matt, what do you think? Because If she didn't say anything, does she deserve the technical? Or if you call the T, do you just have to stick with it?
You want to get it right. Didn't they call a technical on that kid from Auburn, number 10, and he didn't say anything? And as a referee, as an official, you don't want to lose control of the situation. You know, in soccer, a lot of times you'll see it. Are they going to call fouls early? Are they going to bring out a yellow card early? You want to keep in control. You don't want to let things get out of hand. That's what you're there for. So I don't know. You want him to get the call right.
Yeah. Did they review it?
How can you review what somebody said something
Right.
to you?
I
They
mean,
teed her up because of unsportsmanlike conduct of like dropping an F-bomb. I don't know what it was, but whatever he thought she said, apparently she didn't, and they found a way to confirm it. I don't know. It just felt weird. So I'll just say it's a 3 weirdo, and the other 3 weirdo, and I don't know how to feel about this, is the Arkansas baseball team already playing 8 games decided by 3 runs or less. You know, a couple of those games were TCU K-State. That's fine. Some of the, like this last weekend, I like the idea of close baseball games, don't get me wrong, but you also like the idea of beating the crap out of a team and not giving up 9 runs to Charlotte, who had struggled to hit previously. Now, I think that's a halfway decent Charlotte team. I do think you got to be able to be steeled and know how to win close ball games in the SEC. It's just, I guess I would like to see those closer games occur in the SEC, so I don't know which way to feel about this, so I guess I'll just say I'll make it the down because I just made the last one the up, and I can't have 4 ups. So go ahead, Matt.
Well, you know, I listening to Dr. Charlie's story and as far as going out in public places, I do like this one, but I'm leery to leave the house ever because, I mean, you just don't know what these crazy people are going to do. 2 of my favorite bands, Queens of the Stone Age and The Kills, they're going to tour together this year, and they have about 10, 12 shows they're going to play. So talk about going to see a band. That would be cool. That's Allison Mozart and Jamie Hintz of The Kills, Josh Homme, Queens of the Stone Age. Dave Grohl sometimes gets in there on the drums. So that's some tunes right there for you. We play those 2 bands on the show, but we don't play any Morgan Wallen.
I think that's called a moral. Yeah, that's a moral.
Well, yeah, we don't play any Yeezy either. So my third down goes to going to watch a movie. They went to watch Captain America. All right, this is in Washington, and it was an early screening of it. So there was only 2 people in the theater. The ceiling collapses when they're in there watching the movie. I mean, it's getting crazy to go out these places nowadays. No one was hurt though. No one was harmed in the stunts.
Just stay home and go to the studio for the show, and I think life will be just fine. I'll just stay in this hotel room, Dr. Lee, unless I got to get my teeth fixed, Dr. Lee. You know, got to make sure your teeth are healthy. Yeah. You're up.
So my last up, you guys touched on it earlier, Landon Jackson and Tesla in the combine. So only 3 defensive linemen over 260 pounds have ever jumped over 40. And Landon Jackson jumped 40.5. And it was Mario Williams and Myles Garrett and Landon Jackson now. But I mean, 6'6", 264, ran a 4.6. I'm with you guys. I'm with Matt, at least talking about it earlier. He's got to be top 40 or top 50. I mean,
I don't see him getting outside of the second round.
Yeah, I don't either. And then Tesla, did you see the little graphic that has their relative athletic score? I didn't really know what that was, but they rank them between 1 and 10 based on a lot of different variables. And his score was 9.96 on that scale. And out of 3,408 receivers since 1987, that was ranked number 16.
Wow. Well, I knew he rated incredibly high over the course of even the time of the combine, so that's outstanding. 3 up, 3 down, always presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt's a patient of Dr. Liggett, and you can be too.
Yeah, get in there. They family friendly, and they know what they're doing, and they'll take care of you. That's right.
They've won River Valley's Best of the Best for 8 years in a row. Ask about Sedation Dentistry, comprehensive dental facility offering children's dentistry, braces, dentures, gum treatment, dental implants, oral surgery, orthodontics, root canal, and more. Dr. Liggett, you, Dr. Cole Johnson, and Dr. Hannah Kay pretty much take care of all your dental needs, no matter what they are.
Yeah, we really do. We've been focusing a lot lately on sleep, and so if you've got a CPAP and you don't use it, it just sits in the drawer. There are some alternatives. We can make an appliance that works for a lot of cases. Come in and let us check you out and see if you're a candidate.
Call them up at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. Also online at rivervalleysmiles.com. Stay with us. We'll be back. Much more halftime in just a moment.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
This is halftime.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
This is halftime.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store. Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
So we've been kicking around some of the rarest plays in sports thanks to the immaculate inning thrown by Parker Coyle yesterday against the Charlotte 49ers. And here's one I'd never seen in person, and I'd forgotten it happened. There is a one-point safety in football. It happened last in the 2013 Fiesta Bowl between Kansas State and Oregon. The one-point safety can occur only on an extra point. And, I mean, I guess there's two ways that this could happen. No, it can't be two ways it can happen. It can only happen one way. The team that is kicking the extra point would have that kick blocked. The defending team would then recover the football in the end zone and try to run it out and get tackled in the end zone. 1 point. You'd get 1 point for it. So you would get your extra point, but it wouldn't be on the kick. It would be on a 1 point safety. So, Chris, thank you for remembering that one. I don't think I had that Fiesta Bowl on when it was being played, so I was unaware a 1 point safety was a thing, but there you go. I'd never seen it, Matt.
It's like a 1 minute segment.
Yeah, pretty much. We're trying to do about a 3-minute segment because the last segment went so long. So I got about 50 seconds left to pull this thing off, and then we can bid you adieu. Home run cycle, that is rarer than the immaculate inning. Saw it happen, of course, in Arkansas softball a few years ago. I think it was Danielle Gibson that pulled it off.
The drop kick that Doug Flutie's the last one to do that. That used to be the way people kick, but you can just snap it straight to it, and you can drop it and kick it for an extra point. So that would have been like 99 or 01 the last time that's happened in an NFL game. Yeah. That's pretty rare.
And then you had the free kick. I can't remember the team that did it, but I learned another football rule. Then on a fair catch, you're allowed a free kick from wherever it is you catch it, and it's an undefended field goal try. I'd say we learn something every day, but that would not be true. It's like I tell you, you go to the ballpark, you're going to see something different every single day. Like, I don't know. I've probably seen upwards of 5,500 baseball games. There's a couple of them where you might not have seen something new. Maybe things happened a little bit differently each game, but not every day you're going to see something brand new. You just got to be ready for the new moments when they happen. Our Lewis Automotive hotline open at 877-377-6963. Back to wrap up the second hour right after this.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
At Mosquito Joe, our passion is making outside fun again. One of the most popular ways of achieving that goal is with a mosquito misting system. Mosquito Joe misting systems can be installed discreetly around your backyard, patio, boat dock, anywhere you're getting bugged.
The really cool thing about Mosquito Joe misting systems is that they mist automatically every day when mosquitoes are most active. And, if I want to, I can operate the system on my phone with a super easy-to-use app.
Mosquito misting systems. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your old or broken phone can let you down when you need it most.
Perfect.
But at Verizon, trade in any old phone from our top brands and get the most for it, up to $2,000 in value, for an amazing new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and a new line on My Plan, and iPad and Apple Watch Series 10. That's like a 3-for-1. And you can get it on any plan. At Verizon, trade in your old phone for a brand new iPhone 16 Pro, iPad, and Apple Watch. The other guys won't give you that. Visit Verizon.com today. Additional terms apply. Service plan required for Apple Watch and iPad. Up to $2,000 value based on iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch.
Family. That's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Allen Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, what you got on the Adrian Brody gum toss from the Oscars yesterday?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. His partner was taking care of him. They kind of figured that out. What I would have it down was Halle Berry walks up to him and just lays one right on him, right in front of his partner.
What are you supposed to do? I mean, what are you supposed to do at that point? Halle Berry walks up to you and kisses you. I think you're just supposed to take it.
Well, she did ask for permission and said, I'm sorry. She goes, I got to kiss him again or something, which I guess, but I don't know, man. That's just kind of, I guess that's that West Coast. That's just how they are out there, huh?
Well, I do appreciate Adrian Brody not just throwing the gum on the floor,
well,
or like
the
treating
Oscars,
it like ballpark and spitting.
The Oscar was just for his nose. He could put that Oscar right there, and it would have stayed right there. So his nose has one Oscar, and then he's won one Oscar.
It's fun. It's really good. You can talk to your their cinematographer won the Oscar too, because he obviously hid the very flat front of that nose. That is an amazing honker that the two-time winning Oscar actor has now. Yeah. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. No guests in our third hour. It's just you and us. We'll have a lot of fun. Stay with us.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the cloud cover as we head through the afternoon. We're going to warm things up right around 60. Chance of seeing showers and some scattered thunderstorms tonight. Temperatures will drop down into the low 50s and rise as we head through the overnight. Showers and thunderstorms could be intense Tuesday, a high right around 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You gotta take me here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Into hour number 3, 101 in the afternoon here on Halftime. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. We have no guests in the third hour. It is you and us. Calls and texts come in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Thanks to Lewis Automotive Group. The Ultimate Challenge is back. They're on a mission to sell 555 cars in the month of March, and we are already 3 days into it. So good luck, Lewis Automotive Group. Let's see. We have some more nominations coming in for rarest plays in sports. We went with the immaculate inning yesterday, 2 grand slams in an inning, 7 for 7 in one game, 109-yard kick return, a perfect hat trick in soccer, someone hitting for the home run cycle, I thought maybe like a walk-off safety, a safety in overtime in the NFL. Although that wouldn't. Well, if you're the team that has the ball first, any defensive score ends the game. So a safety could end an NFL game. I don't know if that's happened before.
It happened once to start an NFL game, and I mean, it happened once to start a Super Bowl. Remember the Denver Broncos' first play of the game was a safety for the Seahawks.
Was that any kind of boy?
That was almost
yeah.
It was kind of like watching the Hogs go play basketball against South Carolina. It's like the first play, you're like, oh, I see how this fight's gonna go.
The easiest joke of the day is that the rarest play in sports outside of the immaculate inning is Arkansas making a 3-point shot. I've seen that about 5 or 6 times on the Lewis Automotive text line. And
you don't have to worry about an active
too.
shooter alert at a Razorback basketball game.
Oh man! Any more bad jokes? We'll take them too.
I was hoping C. McMahon might have had something for me right there, but he was still thinking about Adrian Brody.
Hey, Ed McMahon back there, you know you're supposed to be the hype man for all of the jokes. That would even be the jokes that might make you cringe a little bit.
If they're not over my head,
It was a bad joke, but I just, what are you going to do?
It would help if you listen to what's being said, because usually he can. It's like automatically Christian can feel if we're making fun of the Cowboys. Because how many times do you say something about the Dallas Cowboys, and then you hear
are the C Mavericks?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Or the C Mavs now. Now that the Lakers have moved up to the number 2 seed, do you just groan every time you turn on an NBA game?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm kind of disgusted with. I can't say I guess the NBA, because the Mavs are in the NBA. So I'm just, man, I got to take a hiatus. I got to take a break from it.
Take a reprieve.
Yeah, I mean.
So I'm going to tell you something here. I'll help you out with this, because I've taken almost a lifetime break from the Pirates. Okay, it's good for your psyche.
Yeah,
it really is. If you know your team stinks and they're really frustrating you, I don't blame you for not turning the television on. And don't come at me, like, oh, if you're a fan of the team, you're going to watch them and everything. No, your time is valuable. You choose what you want to do with your time. I've complained that I don't feel like I have a team to root for in Major League Baseball, so it's tough to watch Major League games for me. So that's what that is. And you know what I have found? Not watching Pirates games, I think, makes me a nicer person. Now, some out there might say, you're not really a nice person to begin with. I think I'm not as frustrated as I might be as if I lived in Pittsburgh and I watched all the Pirates games, because if I did live there, I would watch every game. And I'd be a hateful, angry, miserable word that I can't say on the airwaves live here unless it was midnight, maybe. I would be a very flimsy.
What about C movie
on sandwich, Matt?
See, about what-ish. What about See Unforgiven? How did that?
I love that movie.
Okay, because I was gonna say ask C Western movie. What was your favorite Western? But kids that age, I bet you none of them have seen a single Western yet.
I always find like the kind of like the shows, the Western shows, a little boring. But
they do kind of they're kind of a little bit slower, yeah. But Unforgiven was okay. What about a young Morgan Freeman?
Dude, yeah. That was the first
more
movie.
like a middle-aged Morgan Freeman.
He
maybe?
looked that age right there, though. Whatever he was in Unforgiven, he looked like that until about 2 weeks ago. Like he just all of a sudden he just aged, but he had it going on. Yeah.
Makeup is an amazing thing, isn't it? I'll say that I was late on the Oscars by about 45 minutes to an hour, but when Morgan Freeman walks out to start the montage of all of the actors and people in part of the Academy that had passed away in the last year, and he's talking about my friend Gene Hackman, and you're thinking, yeah,
the one that killed you.
Your friend killed you in the movie, my man.
Yeah, I didn't like Gene Hackman very much after that movie. Kind of just the way his character was.
He said, "Well, I find him instead. You ain't even gonna whip him."
Oh,
so now that was supposed to be an anti-hero Western movie, to where the Eastwood character is like
William
not somebody
Money.
that's really easy to root for, right? It's that's a Western movie that's supposed to change your understanding of what Westerns was. But here's the thing. I don't even really know if I understood what Westerns were before I saw that movie. Because to me, like Dances with Wolves, I guess that classifies as a Western because it's a frontier movie around the time of the Civil War. But I didn't see a lot of
Is
westerns. before
Tombstone? Does that seem? That doesn't seem like that seems like a real modern western, huh? Like you don't really have a western feel to it, or do you think that's a western? I know Open Range is with Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall. That's
seen that
straight up
one.
western. Yeah.
You know the thing we've got to, and I haven't seen enough of these. Maybe I haven't seen any of them. We could nickname him C Spaghetti for this. The spaghetti westerns with Eastwood, and that's the thing. I think that's why that movie hit as hard as it did, because it's Eastwood all these years later after, I don't know if he had done a lot of westerns in like the 70s and the 80s, because he's doing Dirty Harry, he's doing a bunch of other stuff. The spaghetti westerns were in the 60s. And then all of a sudden you see him in, what year was Unforgiven?
92.
92. And he's playing a character that's that just looks like he's down and out. I guess it felt different for a lot of folks, but I got to see those spaghetti westerns because I just haven't seen enough of them. What is your favorite spaghetti western out there? Outlaw Josie Wales is what Scott the Tortilla guy says.
Whooped him again,
There's
Josie.
there's spaghetti western because I don't remember the name of the director, but he's Italian, and so spaghetti western. There you go. What do you think, C Unit? You think that could be the next one? Because we got another week until we figure out what you're watching next.
Yeah, I like the suspense. I like the westerns movies. They're
all
good.
right, good. So you like the Unforgiven movie? We'll kind of figure it out from there. Now I still have to do some homework from last week. I did not watch. You can fail me if you want. I did not watch The French Connection. That's the movie where Hackman won his first Oscar. Second Oscar is from Unforgiven. So I've got to probably it's like $4 on Apple TV. I'll download it. We're flying to South Carolina tonight. I do have 2 episodes of The Wire that I've got to watch first. I've gotten through the first 3 seasons. I've watched The Wire already before, but I'm watching it again. I've gotten through 3 seasons. The 2 episodes I've got downloaded have to come first. So maybe The French Connection tonight in the Greenville Marriott in Greenville, South Carolina. Though I saw a lot of South Carolina communities are dealing with forest fires. I don't know if the area around Greenville is dealing with that. But I'll have some entertainment for later today, and thank you very much.
Yeah, I've seen the I guess it's a trilogy. I don't know if it was a made for TV movie, but Tommy Lee Jones. Sorry, I don't know if it's Tommy Lee Jones. Sorry, but Tommy Lee and is it Robert Duvall that's in Lonesome Dove?
That's right, and I never saw Lonesome Dove, which was one of the most popular miniseries.
That's one
ever.
that it takes you all week. You like, hey, I'm gonna watch 45 minutes today, and then I'll come back around and watch 40 because it's really that. Talk about going, man. That's a long movie.
Young Gun. Now I did see Young Guns. That's a text that comes from
Emilio
Jeremiah in Cedarville. Yeah, I remember Young Guns because, of course, that came around with the Bon Jovi song.
Regulators, mount up.
This was just like the Brat Pack, or just a different version of the Brat Pack.
They're too pretty to be
Estevez,
cowboys.
Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, Casey Siemaszko. Wow. And Jack Palance, which you could always. Hey, does City Slickers count as a Western? Because I saw that one in the theater. I will say, one of the things I loved about the Oscars yesterday was seeing Billy Crystal again. He's my favorite Oscars host. And now that he and Meg Ryan have done this commercial from the Super Bowl for mayonnaise, and it's all from the When Harry Met Sally scene, I'll have what she's having. Do you really want that? And then they show up together at the Oscars. It makes me start to wonder and desire a When Harry Met Sally sequel. Like, did this relationship actually, can you deal with Billy Crystal's character for that long? This movie came out in 1987. It's a long time ago. I would think by now Sally's gotten smarter and gotten rid of the guy, because I don't know if she could have lived with him for very long. We need that. We need that sequel. Pretty sure about it. 310 to Yuma is what Hog Wild says. Lonesome Dove is Eric in Nashville's favorite. I think we've got a line from that as one of our segment enders. It's the can't stand a can't stand a liar. Is that what it is?
Yeah, won't
man?
tolerate bad character. Something like that.
That's what it is.
310 to Yuma is a remake. They remade it with Christian Bell. Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris do Appaloosa. That's one of my absolute favorite Westerns.
877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive hotline. You want to send in your favorite any Western, but I was asking about the spaghetti Westerns, like the ones by Sergio Leone. That's the name of the director. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Craving anything sweet and delicious? There's always something sweet and delicious at Andy's Frozen Custard. Andy's Frozen Custard has some of the most delicious frozen treats around. Mint chip concrete, jitterbug concrete. The concretes are really amazing. I'd go get a mint chip one today. Frozen custard blended with mint syrup and melted chocolate chips. And you can mix and match any of the add-ons, add-ins, and you can also always get the pick 6. That's 6 flavors. Perfect treat for your buddies, your family, or for watching Arkansas athletics on TV at home. It's Andy's Frozen Custard. They're in Fort Smith, Conway, North Little Rock, and they're always ready to serve you, walk-up or drive-through. Stay with Halftime. Much more in just a moment.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
This is Halftime. This is Ruskin and Zach.
Graham that says Todd Day was overrated. Shut up, Graham. Go take a lap. Run
Good
the
God.
Come on.
The takes today are just straight ass out of you people. Todd Day is overrated? Get out of here. This is exactly what's wrong with this place. Your all-time leading scorer in the history. No one scored more than him. Oh, he's overrated.
It's Corliss. It's Sydney. It's Todd Day. 1, 2, 3.
Ruskin and Zach, 2 to 7 weekdays, only on ESPN 95.3.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago ya el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la vida.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for what?
Are you working hard, my darling? We're so worried, always thinking of you, and we just want you to be so happy. Keep on going.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. I guess we can kick around the basketball game from. Do we ever talk about the South Carolina basketball game? What can you glean?
Well,
from that? It's more about what's coming up next. It's more about Vandy. It's more about Mississippi State.
It's what you know is there's a couple. It's tough to win on the road. That's true. The other thing that you glean is South Carolina had the best player on the floor. Not even close. I think he could be a first or second team All SEC guy. It's kind of like the Andrew Armstrong thing. Only one touchdown. They only got 2 conference wins. How do you really put somebody on an All SEC team when you only got 2 wins? Duke can play. And then I thought it really was. I thought each week a little bit, Phil, the only player that had the best grade, that had a passing grade, was number 9 in a Razorback uniform.
Mm-hmm. And Jonas Adu.
That's his second double-double of conference. So he's got 2, but he's been trending in the right way.
But there's a difference between just going out and playing well and losing because they played so well, or just looking like you were lacking energy. And I think that's what it's about more than anything. I think Carolina's playing better basketball. It's not necessarily to take away because they won the game. They deserved it. But to me, it's not like they did anything all that special on either side of the ball. It's a ton of missed shots by Arkansas, which to me was a reason that they struggled in January. And so moving forward, you could look at it as the idea of, you got to win these next 2 games and do something to get into the tournament. But is this I would say, is this a tournament team? All right. Well, that's one question. What about this question? Is this a team that right now looks like they could go on a legitimate run, even just to the Sweet 16, just 2 wins in an NCAA tournament game? Because then you got to play 2 days after. And I think if Arkansas, I don't know what the projections look like right now, but you very well are on your way to being a first 4 team, which means you have to win, I think it's on a Wednesday, then on a Friday, and then on a Sunday. And that just seems like a bit too far for a team that I don't know if you'll have a do. We had Mike Irwin on the show earlier, and he said he's heard this is a meniscus tear. We don't know to the degree that it is, but let's just throw away the idea now of any degree of severity of the injury. A meniscus tear, if that's what this is, and this is the last month of the season, even if you go and win every game, there's a month to go. And the dude's got a future. Does he need to be playing, Matt?
Well, everything's situational. Everything is case by case. No question about it. There's the medical staff and the training staff. All these doctors, all these athletes are $1 million athletes. So you're getting the best of the best of the best. So you got to take all the information that you gather and figure it out. So we don't know. I mean, as far as myself, I don't know all the information. I don't have all the information at hand. But when you look at guys that are going to be able to make a living playing basketball for the next decade, whether it be in America or whether it be a spaghetti Western going to Italy, you just got to learn a different language. I get it. Three's one of them. Three's a guy that's going to make a living playing basketball somewhere on this planet. So you have to err on the side of caution for the kid. And Coach Cal's a player's coach. That doesn't mean you don't get the best out of him. And 3's not afraid of work. It's case by case, but I think you gotta take all the information that you can get.
And I know we can point out Muss did this with 8 players. Cal did this with 6 players at UMass. That UMass team was already used to winning. They knew how to win games. I know they were.
And you
down
had a Hall of
Marcus
Famer
Camby.
on the team, yeah.
Yeah, but Camby was also hurt in the tournament, and they went on to win a game without him. But that's a team that knew how to win games. And I'll bet you that they didn't have a lot of uneven performances amongst their stars, even the guys that are coming off the bench to fill in. It's a team right now that can't have, I think, even one down game from anybody when you're going on the road, and your starters have to be out there and give you good performances. I mean, you don't have the luxury of somebody or 2 players having an off day and hoping that somebody else fills in there, because that's what I feel it's about now. It's about hoping that there can be some consistent offense. And hope is not really much of a plan, but I feel like that's what you're left with at the moment. Jim in Springdale, thanks for calling. How you doing today, Jim?
Hey, good, Bill. Thanks for having me back on. Just one thing on the basketball, and then I'll jump to the topic you asked me to call you back on. Not only can none of the 7 players have a bad game, most of them the top ones are playing 37, 38 minutes. So they have to have a good game for all 36 or 37 minutes. So, some teams who are 10 deep can one person have a bad game, but he's only playing 16 minutes. Our guys have to play good for 35. So it's a real challenge right now.
That's right. That's exactly where I was going. It's and you got to be good for every moment you're out there. It's like you can't have 35 minutes. You were good for 5 of them. It's not like you are asking for perfection, but you're asking for and needing to have everybody play well when they're playing. So that's what it feels like, Jim.
Speaking of strategies, you asked me to call back, and we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, and I can buzz back. But Taco Bell is a big sponsor of the Razorbacks, has been for a long, long time. Baseball, football, basketball, maybe, your show, etc. It's a fascinating marketing company. I was there at the beginning of really their resurgence. I'd love to share a little bit about that with you, because you said call back, you talk about strategy. It's a fascinating case study on how a well-known company now really didn't start out that way, especially in the Midwest. It's a West-based company that's still based in Irvine, California. And back in the day, they had only 900 restaurants. Most are in the West. And they thought their competition was other kind of Mexican restaurants. Remember in the Midwest, it was just sit-down Mexican places. There was no Mexican fast food, really. Well, Taco Bell, once it got purchased by PepsiCo in the early 80s, and remember PepsiCo also owned KFC and Pizza Hut before they spun those both off. PepsiCo invested some money, we did some research, and decided to compete against McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, and not against other Mexican places. And so they completely shifted the strategy. And you started to hint at it, Matt, when you said run for the border, was the tagline that they started. Part of it was be unique, run for the border, do something different, right? But what they found out in research was that what the fast food user, the heavy fast food user, the person who came between 14 and 18 times a month for fast food, what they really wanted. And they didn't want something unique or super tasty. They wanted their gut filled for not a lot of money. And so
as many calories as they can possibly stuff inside their mouth and swallow at one time. That's about right.
Exactly. And they turned out these are 18 to 26-year-old guys, often blue collar, not always. They just wanted a gut fill, and they didn't necessarily want speed of service or a clean restaurant. They wanted a full gut for not a lot of money, but not a burger every day either. And they did this really great research and refashioned the entire menu, the pricing, the product, the locations of the restaurants, how the drive-thru worked. They switched it from mostly seating in the restaurant to, they decreased the amount of the kitchen in the restaurant, organized even the back room and how it was organized, and then reorganized the logo and did a whole new appeal, added the run for the border, but eventually introduced this thing called a value menu, which now everybody does a value menu, right? Well, this was back in 1984. Nobody was doing the value menu, and no one was doing free drink refills. Taco Bell was the first to offer free drink refills. Just come up and we'll refill you for you. There were no machines out in the lobby, but you brought your cup to the front and you got a free refill. Also, we started taking coupons for Big Macs or any other burger you had.
Man, Jim, this is like this is a full lesson into how Taco Bell became so ingrained in our culture, and how fast food has grown into the thing that it is. Not quite sure where to go there, but that was my idea of what Mexican food was before I, had the real thing.
That value meal, I think, Phil, that was probably something huge in the 80s, huh? I mean, when you're an 18 to 24-year-old kid, you probably don't have a lot of jingle in your pocket. So you got to, where can you get the most bang for your buck?
No, so he's right about this, too, because I remember when Taco Bell exploded into my neighborhood, my friend Mo and I would go there, and he would say the exact thing that Jim was just saying. We were like 12 and 13 years old. We might have $5 in our pocket, but we could get 3 tacos and a drink and more for that. That's exactly what he would say.
But they used to, you'd get a Choco Taco too. They don't do that anymore. We got to ask him next time what happened to the Choco Taco.
I don't know. I didn't go to Burger King.
I don't know.
Bruce
I
in
mean,
Hot
I've seen him
Springs.
do it.
What's up, Bruce? How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing extremely well. I live in Hot Springs, and I had something I've been wanting to tell Matt for a while. So my daughter was in pharmacy school in Detroit, Michigan, and wound up getting engaged to a young man. He was on a walk-on, University of Michigan. And so when he shows up to my house to ask for a hand in marriage, after I reluctantly said yes, I'm teasing about that, he gives me an autographed Matt Jones jersey. So he had done his research. So I don't know where he found it at, but he bought it as a peace offering.
That's
and
pretty
I really
cool.
wanted to always tell Matt about that. Yeah. Hey, one last thing on Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
The same pitcher give up both Grand Slams.
Yeah, we had someone text in about it. Yeah, Chan-Ho Park. You're thinking, are you serious? Guy gives up 2 grand. What's more impressive, the same guy hitting him or the pitcher giving up 2 grand slams in the same inning? It's like you're actually still out there.
Tommy Lasorda must have had a few Bud Lights, man. Let him stay in that long.
Either that or maybe he didn't like Chan-Ho very much. Bruce, appreciate your call. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive hotline. Might as well tell you that the Hit That Line Now app is brought to you by Taco Bell. This works very, very well. You can listen to all of the Hit That Line shows. You can view all of the shows on our video streams. You can download all the podcasts, and it's right there in the palm of your hand, right on your phone. Just download the Hit That Line Now app from the App Store for iPhone users, Android users. Get it out of Google Play. And it's brought to you by Taco Bell, where you can satisfy your daytime cravings with the Cantina Chicken menu lineup today, and apparently the inventors of the value menu and free refills. Now stay with Halftime. It's the home stretch, and we'll come back after this.
His mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Elvi.
Elvi, Return to the Moon.
Scratch a ticket with a leg of a cricket, and I got triple Jesus. Kept it in for Siamese when at the family firing range. Went to bed and woke up inside another man's head. Nobody noticed. Excited the senators, the fighter don't tell me nothing's changed.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
He was the only one to run, but he was the fastest 40 time of this group.
That's fantastic.
He wasn't wrong.
What a catch.
Isaac Tesla in the NFL Combine this past, I think he was on Saturday that he ran his drills. Made a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch on this pass that I just saw, thrown by Riley Leonard. They're saying Tesla had maybe the best performance of a wide receiver, one of the best performances ever. Just looking at the performance here, and Andrew Armstrong did well, but Tesla finished 17th out of 39 receivers in the 40-yard dash, 4.44. Fourth out of those same 39 receivers in the 10-yard split, 1.51. 3rd out of 33 receivers in the vertical jump, 39.5. 6th in the broad jump, 9th in the 3-cone drill, won the 20-yard shuttle, and finished 3rd in the bench press for any wide receiver. You know, Mike Irwin previously in the show had put a lot of that on the last couple of months by Tesla. I'm the world-class athlete. I don't know how much faster you can get from the end of the football season to the combine, and understood you're not getting hit right now, and you were getting hit for about 3-4 months there. But this improvement athletically had to have been a gradual thing from over the last football season potentially, because I don't remember thinking that he was that quick.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has some God-given ability, some natural talent. We always knew his hands were first class. But, yeah, all the drills that I guess we talked about it last week when somebody called in and said you couldn't get faster or something. It was kind of weird. But there's drills you can do, explosion drills, lunges, box jumps. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do to work on your bounding and your explosiveness getting out of the start. And would you say he had the fastest 10-yard split, or did you say second fastest?
He had the fastest 20-yard shuttle.
20-yard shuttle. So he's got some lateral movement right there, yeah.
Yeah, he was 4th in the 10-yard split.
I mean, that's
4th out of 39.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I didn't see it coming, but here's somebody out of Division II who played quarterback in high school. It'll be really interesting following his career. Really interesting following his career. Got Nelson and Harrison on hold here. Really appreciate all the calls and the text today. It's been fun. Hey, Nelson, what's going on?
Hey, guys. I actually want to talk about something else, but now that we're talking about Tesla, he was a freak at Hillsdale. I mean, this kid was a freak at Hillsdale. You throw the ball his way, he was catching it. He was burning people up. I mean, he was an absolute freak. I think the reason that he was not as productive here is because of having to learn a new offense, and then the complexity probably of Bobby P's offense. Which I'm wondering if Bobby P's offense ain't a little bit of a detriment, because our receivers look like they were slow, and you know what makes you look slow? When you're thinking and not, playing, just letting your natural ability flow. When you're thinking, you get slower. So, but Phil, did you call the basketball game the women's game?
Yeah, I was at College Station yesterday. First win for the women's basketball team.
Man, wasn't it
since '91?
Wasn't it great to see Phoenix get hers?
Yes.
I mean, that girl was
right.
going.
You're absolutely right about that, and it's on me for not even mentioning it yet. Yeah, she was outstanding yesterday. 21 points, made 4 threes, played with a lot of confidence, and it wasn't against a really good team, but if she's hitting her shot, and she's really quick, I think there's something to work with Phoenix, and it'll be very interesting this next month for the women's basketball team, Nelson, because we're just anticipate the season ends at some point this week. And then it's like 3 weeks before the portal opens. And I think it's going to be a really active portal season for the women's basketball team. Might be the most obvious statement of the show today. So, but Phoenix, to me, looks like a potential keeper.
Anything that you could tell us, any nuggets you could tell us about Phoenix or recruitment, anything, because they didn't have nothing on her besides she was from the Netherlands, and that she played. But, man, I mean, this girl's got to have something. She she balled out. And she did that in whenever she was playing overseas.
Yeah, so Phoenix has been with the team since last January. So she's been around here for more than a year. And remember, she did not play, I think it was the first 11 games this year because of an eligibility issue. And I'm guessing that just has to do with, her being from outside the country. So she couldn't even really practice either. So I feel like she started with one foot already in the bucket. It's tough. But, yeah, I mean, I think she's got a pretty interesting background. The Netherlands is a country that loves basketball. I've also read and I was told by a Dutch guy that was a pitcher on my minor league team that's the tallest player in the history of pro baseball, 7'1", that the Netherlands is the tallest country in the world by per capita, just on the height of everybody there. It is the tallest country in the world. But I don't know if it's like got this great basketball pedigree. I know she's got a great pedigree in terms of people with personality because Phoenix's mom is a recording star. Not just in the Netherlands. I don't know how many people in the States know her, but worldwide she's very popular, known as Anouk. And we've even played one of her songs before as a comeback when Phoenix signed to become a Razorback. So it makes it a little bit different than just about most other players that have been around. Though I did have a player, Matt, with the Travelers who was a center fielder named Nathan Haynes, and his sisters, or not sisters, his aunts were the Pointer Sisters. Like the real Pointer Sisters were his aunts. And I always appreciated it, especially when he would make a leaping catch to the center field fence, because then jump. You know, I don't think he had anybody related to Van Halen, but they had jump too.
The Dutch are the tallest country?
Nelson, thanks. That's what Luke told me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and Luke was 7'1". He always would get upset when somebody asked him, why didn't you play basketball? He wasn't into it. You know what he did before he played baseball? And it's unfortunate. Luke died, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago in a hiking accident. He was really a beautiful guy. He practiced judo. He was a 7'1". I don't know if you'd say judo athlete. I don't know what you'd call somebody that performs judo, but that's what he did. And I think, well, as a pitcher, it was so difficult to see where the ball's coming from because he got these long arms and legs and the elbows and the knees, and it's coming out at you, and he's letting go of the ball closer to the plate than any other pitcher ever did before. But don't you think all those arms and legs and elbows and knees would be a little issue if you were trying to battle judo too? But I don't know if it comes down to kicks or not. Probably not.
I think your boy from Fiji, Tim Duncan, I think he's into that too, as well as grappling and the judo stuff. That's I mean, that's such your core. Oh, that's a full grown man if you can do some judo.
I think I did watch the judo matches in the Olympics this last summer. Teddy was the guy who was from France. He was he was a big hero there. Won the gold medal, and yeah, that was entertaining. It's not 7'1". It was really weird watching Luke pitch. Watching Phoenix play basketball has been a little frustrating at times because she's sometimes even too quick for herself. Like tries the quick crossover and might lose the ball, and a little too quick when she's getting rid of the shot occasionally. But she's a freshman and she didn't play the first 11 games, and I think there's a lot to work with her. And I really don't know how many of the players are going to still be here next year. I do think the coaching staff is safe, but that doesn't mean the roster is safe, nor should it be, because it's not been a very good season at all. So I think Phoenix will be one of the players that they end up keeping. Woods is here. Hey, Woods. Good afternoon. What's going on?
Not much.
Go for it, Woods. You're on the air. Okay. Well,
I know.
You're here with us, too.
Hey, that Charlotte team is not a team I would want to play in the postseason.
Well, they looked scrappy to me. They did. I mean, they looked like a team that could do some. So I don't know much about the American Conference, but they're probably better than they were last year. But I thought they were scrappy. Pitchers, for the most part, threw strikes. But they're kicking themselves for that Friday game because they had Arkansas down. They should have had that one probably.
And Arkansas looks really good right now, but we all know how that ends up every now and then. So I do look forward to watching the Alloy boys continue to hit. They're nice, but there's some really good pitchers that I've watched I haven't seen a whole lot of the games. This is the first weekend I've gotten to watch a full weekend of baseball. And gotta like what you see right now.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing right now. I'll tell you some pitchers that I really do like. Colin Fisher's going to get the start tomorrow against ULM. Fisher is they're using him on the weekends too, but he's also going to be a midweek starter. I really like Fisher. Strike thrower, got a little deception, coming back from that elbow injury last year. I think there's a lot to work with him. And a thing that does stand out, you got more than one closer. There's Fouch. Yes, there is Fouch. I feel like Christian Fouch's stuff does not always lead to the numbers that you'd expect. But maybe yesterday had more to do with him trying to throw twice on a weekend because he was fine closing down Friday's game. But there are other options. Carson Wiggins is a legitimate closer. He looked great on Saturday, and Tate McGuire has a save. So you got 3 pitchers with at least 1 save on this team. But it also tells you they haven't really pulled away from too many ball clubs. You got a couple of run rule wins against Washington State, and then just about everything's been close outside of the Grambling game. Close baseball games are fine. You need to know how to win close games. It's just, the competition's about to get a lot tougher. Starting next week on the weekends with Ole Miss, and it's getting tougher every week after that. So, I guess you'd like to see, 6-run, 7-run wins, but just score more than the other team. You'll be fine. Hey, later this week, starting on Thursday, it's the Great American Conference Basketball Championships at Fort Smith Southside High School. It's this Thursday through Sunday. All the best men's and women's team in the GAC trying to get that automatic bid of the D2 tournament. Tickets and information are at GreatAmericanConference.com. Great American Conference Basketball Championships Thursday through Sunday, Fort Smith Southside High School. We'll be back and wrap up halftime for the day after this.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
This is halftime.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauling, Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauling, Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. Limbird.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Caught me had hurt real bad, cried myself to sleep. Showed me how this cow shattered dreams. Another lesson about a naive fool came to Babylon. Found out that the pie don't taste so sweet. Now his guitars can't like
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Closing out with word that Jimmy Johnson, former Razorback, two-time Super Bowl winning coach, one of the rare coaches, one of 3 to win a national championship and a Super Bowl, has announced his retirement from Fox Sports coverage of the NFL. 31 years he's been on their coverage. And I guess that was right after he left the Dolphins. And to me, that sounds like it would be the end of a long career in football. Johnson is 81 years old. I don't know how longer Terry Bradshaw can keep doing it. But there it is. Jimmy Johnson's broadcasting career coming to an end. He was always fun to watch on those pregame shows.
He one of the things I got out of his book is he likes to be naked. He said he wants to do Naked and Afraid, and I thought, what an odd thing to be really just really over the top about. That was his favorite TV show, and that's what he wanted to go do, was the show Naked and Afraid. And I was just like, what an odd. But he does live down there in the Keys. I don't think they wear much clothes down there.
That's actually true. Yeah, you got to be careful walking around Key West certain times of the day. Though it's probably not Jimmy Johnson you got to be worried about.
It sounds like you might have to be worried about Jimmy Johnson. Is what I'm saying.
I guess. Well, he likes to walk around naked, or is
he does,
it just
doesn't he do the
thing?
Doesn't he do the Extends commercial too? I think we're on to him. You know, you start putting it together.
I did not add 3 and 3 and come up with 6, but you just didn't. That's right. Naked and Afraid is nothing that would actually interest me.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But we're not going to take a shower. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. They have no other reason to worry about. I'm going to wear clothes in the hotel. I'm going to wear clothes at home. Shower, that's it. I'm never going to be naked and afraid at the same time. I might just be one or the other and leave it at that. Sounds about right. All right, basketball tomorrow. Going to be a 9 o'clock tip-off, 9 o'clock Central Time. That means if I'm going to watch the game tomorrow, it's a 10 o'clock tip-off in South Carolina. I got to watch the game. They got to win tomorrow, so I guess we'll figure it out. Yeah, it's been great stuff today. We figured out some other plays that are rarer than the immaculate inning. The home run cycle being one, the 109-yard kickoff return another, 2 grannies in an inning, 7 for 7 in one game. All of those things are rarer than the immaculate inning. And we're told that Extends doesn't work. So yeah, go tell Jimmy Johnson that. Make sure you tune in to the Halftime Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. It'll have all of our guests, which was just one today. That was Mike Irwin Ruskin and Jack coming up to entertain you up until 7 o'clock, and we'll do all this over again tomorrow at 11 in the morning. Bill King, Alyssa Orange joining us. So have a great rest of your day. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.